Let's get one thing straight. Draft Day is a horrendous movie that you must watch because Draft Day is awful in many, many regards. The dialogue is wooden, the scenarios are unrealistic, and yet it speaks to a lot of actual truths about the way NFL teams operate, especially the Cleveland Browns. I'm here with Drew Hodgdon, my old teammate from the Texans. Drew, you have not watched Draft Day, but you've seen some of the horrendous clips from this movie.
Yeah, that's right. Just like the way you evaluate every movie is just watching individual cut-ups wildly out of context.
How I make all my political decisions. Give me a 15-second
headlines
clip.
only.
Yeah, tell me your version of what it all means. And yeah, I'm gung-ho with it. So these are some of the dumbest moments from the movie Draft Day. And yet some of them actually ring true a little bit and how stupid they are. Let's get this one out of the way first. It's the creepiest moment from Draft Day. It's where Sonny Weaver, the embattled GM of the Cleveland Browns, has a meeting on the day of the draft at a water park that the owner of the Browns, Anthony Molina, owns. And Anthony Molina explains to Sonny Weaver that, hey, we got to make a splash. Just like people in this water park pay to get splashed with water, we got to make a splash. And his parting warning and a word of advice to Sonny Weaver is this.
Sonny, people pay to get wet.
Just ooh, right? Is that the ew? And yet, the creepy NFL owner who's been a billionaire for so long that he doesn't quite connect with people on the same wavelength.
Jerry Jones, where he had that stretch there where there were like a half dozen stories about potentially being like a creepy old codger.
No, the woman, or there's just a picture of the actual woman with her face pressed against the crotch.
Or just actual evidence.
This is Sonny Weaver after having surprisingly traded up to the number 1 overall pick, where people presume he's going to draft the number 1 prospect, Bo Callahan, quarterback out of Wisconsin. And this is him explaining to everybody that this is what he did.
Until about 10 minutes ago, I don't think any of us thought this was possible, and I seriously doubt that we have looked at him the way we might have. That's my fault. All right, guys, that's on me. Now that's changed. So if we go ahead with this, if we pick him and find out tomorrow that he has got knee problems, he's got bedwetting problems, or he's got goddamn OCD, we're all going to be fired. What's beeping?
Okay. So just to lay it all out, they just traded from number 7 up to number 1 overall for 3 first-round picks. But now they got to really dive in and do the research on this guy that they're about to draft number 1 overall.
Yeah, you got to find out now if he has knee problems.
Yeah, or OCD, which I feel like I don't know. Yeah, OCD is kind of a positive for a quarterback, right?
Right. I would almost say that like the OCD maybe is what got him there.
Yeah, is he high functioning OCD is what I want out of a quarterback.
And I think most people agree that the university that produces the highest number of number 1 overall quarterbacks is Wisconsin.
Yes.
Over the last 20 years. I mean, that's the hotbed of explosive quarterback play.
I also didn't like the fact that the GM didn't know what sound the phone was making.
Right. What is happening right now?
What is this curious sound I'm hearing from that triangular conference call looking device?
Yeah.
Just an atrocious movie. Go see it. Download it today if you haven't seen it. Now, the Browns have a quarterback already. His name's Brian Drew. It's a guy who's kind of a journeyman career backup, but who had a promising season the year before. And Brian Drew has been working out hard in the offseason. We know this because the strength coach corners Sonny Weaver and explains just how good Brian Drew has been looking.
How much he squatted. He's not supposed to be squatting to him.
He's coming off a knee injury, so he's not supposed to be squatting. That part's accurate. The GM would say, hey, what the hell? He's not supposed to be squatting.
400. 4 bills. I know. And what's even more impressive is his arm. Your star wide receiver, Andre Bell, has been telling me about those secret workouts they've been doing together all winter. Yeah, well, Andre thinks Brian can throw a good 15 yards deeper now. I didn't believe it until I saw what he benched.
What did he bench?
He benched 250 25 times. Just boom, boom. Guess how much?
Of all the clips that you've sent me, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
No, I love that strength coach.
Oh my god, it's the way it's written, the way they're saying exactly what it is. You know, your star receiver. You're the GM of the team. I don't know if you know him.
Your star wide receiver, Andre Brown.
That's right. Yeah.
Ever heard of him? Yeah.
How many pounds? 250. The whole every moment of it makes.
I kind of enjoyed that when he said 250. You're kind of like, all right, it's not all that impressive. But then when he describes it, it was 250 25 times. That's how he knew for sure that he could throw 15 yards, which honestly, throwing 15 yards deeper, you got to drug test that dude. That's the equivalent of going from a 250-pound bench press to a 600-pound bench press in one offseason.
Correct. It kind of sounds like he's telling him that I hope you're okay with the fact that he's definitely on PEDs.
But even if you're somehow not a football fan, but also a meathead who's in the gym a lot, like nobody puts 250 on the board for reps.
No.
It's 245. You're going to do 245. If you're doing it for reps, you don't bother within 2.5 pound increments. It doesn't ring true from a meathead standpoint. And then,
you're losing the meathead crowd.
Right. And then the other part of it is, okay, if you're trying to appeal to both NFL fans and non-football fans, why not just say 225? Because 225 is the one that football fans are going to say, oh, yeah, that makes sense. It feels like it's written by fourth graders at times.
Yeah, or like the director, whoever was on site that day, was like, no, I like 250 better. And then they all just kind of signed off on it.
So one of the prospects that Sonny Weaver actually really liked is linebacker Vonte Mack, who curiously and weirdly is talking to him at random times throughout the movie. But everybody else is skeptical. You know, the head coach, Vinnie Penn, he wants Arian Foster's character. Arian Foster plays a running back who's a draft prospect in this movie. Sonny Weaver wants Vonte Mack, but people don't know everything there is to know about Vonte Mack. So they sit down and Sonny Weaver explains to everybody something happened with Vonte Mack that the public at large doesn't know this about Vonte Mack.
Off, can't do that in college. Can't add the ball to some girl.
It's not some girl. It's not some girl, guys. That's his sister. She died about 6 months later.
Somehow they want us to believe that Vonte Mack handing the football to his sister who's dying of cancer and then him getting ejected for it largely went unnoticed by NFL media. This would have been a crossover hit. This would have hit mainstream media as well.
Right.
This was the part where I lost all patience with the movie, which I cannot recommend you watching any more than I get. You got to watch this movie.
Yeah, the notion that this would have to happen 50 plus years ago for it to not land on draft day in that room, talking to everyone else responsible for those draft decisions. Completely insane. And by the way, just the complete lack of even pretending like that footage is at all from anything related to the actual game. Is like a fake phone thing, or like they don't even zero.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's a great point. It doesn't look anything like an actual TV broadcast.
It's not even close. Zero effort whatsoever.
But the craziest thing about this too, and this is where it ignores just all conventions to the point where I understand they've got to compress an entire NFL draft offseason into a 12-hour window. I get that. That's Hollywood. But you can't ignore the fact that you're an NFL fan watching this and you're like, okay, Vonte Mack at any point in all the combine interviews and everything else never wanted to divulge that until the day of the draft, in which he doesn't even divulge it. He says it cryptically to Kevin Costner. Right. Hey, go watch it. Yeah, in hopes that Sonny puts together the pieces himself. Like, follow the breadcrumbs.
Right. Yeah, Mack has the worst representation in football. He's potentially a first-round pick. No one told any of the teams. This is why that happened. No one explained it.
Oh, cannot recommend this movie highly enough. So this part ranked true as well. As far as I could see an NFL coach doing this, if he doesn't like the prospect that the GM wants, this is the head coach played by Dennis Leary. Did a good job in this movie. His responding to this Vonte Mack story.
About 6 months later.
Who friggin' who?
Doesn't care. I don't need your sob stories, all right? Don't tell me about the Payne lady. Just show me the baby. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he's so hard-nosed. That casting to me was a little weird to me. I haven't seen it, obviously, which is how you review a movie.
Yeah.
It seems he doesn't give head coach energy.
He doesn't give head coach. Yeah, I thought he pulled it off. They did a good job of making him a hateable character, but they pulled it back right at the point where he can't be redeemed. Like there's the salary cap advisor is played by Jennifer Garner in this movie, and they have Dennis Leary kind of do some light misogyny along the way, but not to the point where you're like, oh, this guy's a complete animal and a moron and everything. So that the spoiler alert at the end, everything works out. And you can actually like Dennis Leary by the end. This is after Sonny makes this trade, there's all kinds of leaks. People from all around the league are starting to sniff around and try to figure out, whether they can wrest this pick from Sonny Weaver, what the hell he's thinking. And the Chiefs are interested in Brian Drew, the incumbent quarterback for the Browns. So the Chiefs GM calls up and just admits to some not even light tampering, pretty heavy duty tampering.
You're asking about his knee. It's stronger than ever. He's throwing the ball a good 15 yards farther down the field.
Okay, just confirming. His agent sent over tape of Drew working out during the offseason. We like what we see.
He did? That's great.
That's great.
You seem surprised.
It's good news.
Yeah, you seem surprised. Yeah, you're going to get docked a first-round pick, you dullard. What the hell are you Yeah, oh, you sound surprised. I was like, hey, you know what? I was doing some heavy petting with your wife the other night, and it seems like she might be cool with a relationship with me. You sound surprised.
Yeah. You are a couple. Fantastic. Yeah. It's really great. Everybody's really great and happy and satisfied. This is also clearly like a day that lasts 72 hours.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot going on here, but that's Hollywood. I acknowledge that. Look, when I watched Interstellar, I didn't sit there thinking well, by my understanding of the way black holes operate,
you didn't question all the physics at play.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey would have been stretched out, 3 light years long in that. He wouldn't have survived that. All right. Now you just suspend disbelief a little bit. The other thing that annoyed me throughout the movie, though, and this was the most extreme example of it, was watch what they do with the split screens in this scene.
You're asking about his knee. It's stronger than ever. So.
Whoa, crossover.
Kills me every time.
Whoa, other side.
Farther down the field.
Okay.
Whoop-de-doo.
Just confirming.
It gets
his agent sent over tape.
Wait a second.
His arm. I missed that the first time.
In the foreground. Yeah.
Working out during the offseason. We like what we see.
Let's really mess with your perception of space-time here. Yeah.
I'm surprised that I don't know that I've seen that in other movies. It really didn't catch on.
This one was another one that I feel like non-football. This is offensive to both football fans and non-football fans. So, spoiler alert: the Browns end up drafting Vonte Mack, #1 overall. The owner is furious. He is livid. And this is him standing outside of Madison Square Garden in New York City, making a bold threat to Jennifer Garner's character about him coming back to Cleveland.
Anthony, tell Sonny I'm on my way to Teterboro, and I will literally be in his face in an hour, and he will talk to me then.
Okay. He's on his way to Teterboro. During at 8 p.m. or so, I've done the Google Map search on this on a Thursday or Friday night, depending on when this happens in the draft. It takes you at best, you can get there in 20 minutes to Teterboro. Get on, taxi, take off, fly to Cleveland, drive from the private airport to the Browns headquarters. No, you're not going to do it in an hour. In the movie, they do it in less than an hour because they get there by the 7th pick overall. Unacceptable.
I mean, Seth, I thought if we were suspending the laws of space and time, like you do when you watch Interstellar, and we're not worried about a 72-hour, 24-hour period, then I think we just have to concede that it's okay that this time he can actually travel however many miles in less than an hour.
Okay.
He'll literally be in his face.
I'm going to say this. I think there's 2 reasons you should watch it. One is that there are a lot of references to this movie made that I didn't get before I watched it. Like Vonte Mack, no matter what, he writes that on a piece of paper that Dennis Leary's coach picks up after that. Like, it's supposed to show that, man, this is where Sonny Weaver is going to be his own man. He spent his life just kind of trying to bend his actions to the will of others, but no, damn it, he's going to do it on his own this year. And I was emotionally invested in Sonny Weaver by the end of by the climax of this movie. Yeah, I was waiting to hear exactly who they were going to announce with the number 1 overall pick. I was on the edge of my seat. I hadn't watched this because I'd seen all the references. I knew that they would take Vonte Mack just because I'd seen enough references to it. So just so you can speak the vernacular of other NFL fans, I think it's an important one to watch. And then the second part is just that, I was it's a guilty pleasure. I was kind of invested in it.
I mean, that's the magic of it. It's like all those things. I mean, that's why I go to the movie. What I'm trying to figure, so is in the context of the movie, is Sonny Weaver's career, is he like on kind of his last legs? Like he's had a couple bad drafts. He's been in Cleveland for a while.
He's going into, I believe, his 3rd season. So he's had 2 years with them. And his father was a legendary head coach of the Browns. He fires his father. They don't show him firing his father because he's dead. But they talk about how he fired his father. You find out that it was basically fired his father for his own good because he had health issues, and his mom convinced him to fire his father, and yet he never disclosed any of this to the public. I give this movie 2.5 stars out of 5. It's fluctuated for me, but it's I was emotionally invested. You have to watch it. It's a horrendous, awful, just the train wreck of a movie. It would have been way better with Al Pacino in the lead role, since it was nothing but dialogue the entire time.